All right, so look, we're gonna walk through the facility, y'all. We're gonna take breaks in between. Y'all can ask any question that you need or anything that you wanna know, but for the most part, I'm gonna be explaining. Dan actually is gonna be assisting as well, anything that we need, that we wanna answer in regards to this facility specifically. But yeah, that's what we're doing right now, all right? Yo, Mogul in the building. I've been in the business 9 years. Commercial real estate investor. See, most of us, we losing out on blessings because we wanna get the whole pie. We want 100% of nothing.
I got business, credit, real estate. Got some assets on the market from recession up to date. I got business, credit, real estate.
Yo, I need to become more effective in less time. If it takes you 30 years to do something, I need to do it in 5. I'm not trying to wait time 30, 40 years in to retire, get a pension, then go get a second job and now work. No, I'm not doing it.
Funding for the business with a lower interest rate. I got get your LLC. You gon' need an EIN. You get verified online. A few more steps, you be right in. Get your headset in the game. We gon' need you to buy in. Execution is the loophole with the strings that we tie in.
We talk about occupancy, right? So 90% occupancy, 95, 85% occupancy. You want to bake out some units for maintenance or utility. This is important because in this facility right here, Dan works this facility, but in my facility, it's all completely remote. We don't have anybody that work on hand. So this unit will be utilized for any maintenance that comes by. I need to pick locks or add on overlocks. Is a code on the door, and we can get in and get whatever we need. So it's kind of like storage for the business. So you want to, kind of calculate that and bake that into whenever you acquire a facility and you're doing your numbers. So let's say you got 200. How many units is this?
I've got 254 here.
254 units. You probably say, okay, when you buy a facility, you want to look at the sizes of the units. So this is a 10 by 20. Is this the leading or most demand unit in this area? Like, which one is the most popular size unit?
Oh, man. I've been spending hours underwriting this deal. Are you spending hours underwriting your commercial real estate deals too? You're spending so much time with spreadsheets and implementing formulas and key terms, and it's just a lot where you can't even get to the number that you need to make a profitable decision so that you can make an offer. I know, because this is a problem that most of us face as commercial real estate investors, but it's no longer a problem because I had the solution. I built the #1 system that's gonna help you save yourself significant time, energy, and money. The Mogul Deal Evaluator is here to help you underwrite and evaluate your deal in less than 60 seconds. Yes, in less than 60 seconds, you can gather the information, input it inside the tool, and now have the number that you need to make that offer, that magic number to get you to the closing table so that you can close deals that much faster. You can do so much with this tool. For those of you that's looking to syndicate deals, you can actually gather the information from your general partners and raise the capital, and it'll show you how much you should distribute to your partners so that the deal is profitable for everyone. It's so much that you can take advantage of, and I want to give you an opportunity to take advantage of this tool. So go to moguldealevaluator.com, make sure you register and create your account, and I want to see you at the closing table. It's time for us to close deals that much faster and build wealth for our family that much faster. I'll see you at the closing table.
So that's something to be very mindful of. So you got to do your market research. So if you look at an area and you see a lot of people are moving to this part of Atlanta, I don't know, what's the Smyrna? Right? So a lot of people are moving to Smyrna, right? You want to see what is the average household size, right? Is it single family, which is a mom and maybe a son, right? Or is it mom, dad, 2 kids, 3 kids? We need to understand the household size, because now with the household size, we pair it up with the units and see, all right, what typically are the units that they're gonna be renting out the most? Because you may have a storage facility with a ton of 5 by 5s, but that's not what people are looking for, right? They need a 10 by 20, or they need a 10 by 10. So Dan knows this data, has this research, and now you utilize that to do. So when we understand that data and research, how could that benefit us? How could it benefit us? Huh? How could it benefit us? We're gonna have to get back in class to do that. No, but look, the way it benefits us is now we have supply and demand. So now we could actually mark up the prices on particular units if the demand is on that unit. So your facility makeup is important. So you may see a facility like, oh, this is a good deal, which, this price, but it's all 5 by 5s. Well, you're gonna buy that facility what are they really looking for in that area? So we need to be able to do that research. But yeah, again, this is maintenance, utility. You see what they have in here, golf cart. So depending on, you know, if you have somebody working in your facility, they got to move around, you want to make it convenient for them, you might want to invest. Me personally, I probably won't invest that. Get your steps in, get your steps in. So when you buy self-storage, the reason why it's not just commercial real estate, it's actually a small business because you're going off of revenue management. So on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, you're looking at the demand in the market. And yes, today they may come in and pay $100 for this unit, but tomorrow it's gonna be priced at $140. Like you just never know. It depends on the demand, what's available, what's going on in the area. And it's really all about revenue management. So the reason why that's also important is because the value of your facility is based upon you driving that net income. So the more income, if you just sit on your facility and just give this the standard price and you don't manage the revenue and you're looking at it on a monthly basis and really being able to tug and pull, see what prices you're gonna have in your market, you're not maximizing on your facility's value and what you can really get from it from a value standpoint. And then we know that's a whole nother entire blueprint as far as refi, whatever the case may be, right? So you have to have a facility that is big enough to do U-Haul because U-Haul also is gonna do their research because they don't wanna come and drop trucks on a facility that they just wasting their time and it's not really a revenue generator for them. So that's important. And then any other move, right? So is there Walmart nearby here, you know? So that's something that's important too when you're doing your retail, and you could talk to this then if you have any insight to talk on this, but that will impact your retail, right? Your locks, cause somebody's like, what, $12 for that lock? Let me go on the street real quick. You know what I mean? So that's the game. So that's the upsell now, you know what I'm saying? You never really wanna be 100% full, because if you're 100% full, then you have no wiggle room to really, when somebody else come in to raise prices. So if I got a couple units available, right, I could actually fluctuate that as people come in and out and stuff like that, you know, whatever the case may be. You can't increase your rents, but obviously you want to be responsible.
What percentage are you raising those guys?
It varies based upon the market, you know, 5%, 10%, 20. I don't know if you could discuss that or not, Dan. You probably can't, yeah, you know what I mean? But it varies based upon the market. So look, if I'm in an area like, so I use Pennsylvania, right? Pennsylvania, where I'm at, we have a good amount of facilities. We doing a 15% increase on our rent, but that's because that is that market, right? And a lot of people in New York and New Jersey moving out where that facility is. So that's the things you got to look at, right? If I bought this facility in this area, are people moving out? This case is where you buy something and people are moving out, and now you bought it, and in the first month, people were like, yeah, I'm out, because that's a dying area. People are moving somewhere else.
So you dropping your price there?
Now I'm dropping the price there. Now I gotta give you a $1 special. Yeah. 1 month free? Yeah. That's why they hit you. So the game on the, so now y'all know when y'all go get your unit. So the $1 special, and a lot of like the big dogs, like Extra Space, the Publix, they do that because they're bigger and they can afford to do it. But the strategy is obviously $1 special to fill it up, get you in. And once you in, who wants to keep moving around? Boom. Next month, price just hike, and now, you know what I mean? You're in there. So like in Pennsylvania specifically, if they do not pay on that fifth day, we're gonna send you an email. Hey, you late, da da da. Now on the 15th day, if you don't pay, now we put the overlock, and now we start the auction process. So like basically 30 days after that you haven't paid, that auction is already scheduled to happen. That's how we do it in Pennsylvania.
That's
Tight window.
North Carolina. That's how you get your golf cart.
Yeah.
To keep the money for the items that are auctioned off?
So that's gonna depend, right? So it's a lien law, which means when they do the auction, whatever amount that's owed, the storage facility have the opportunity to get what's owed as a lien on your units. Now that doesn't always happen because when there's a auction, somebody might come and auction on this unit $100. But if you got, like if I sent you a notice on the 5th, but now a late fee is on that. Yeah, so I added a late fee, $75. So now you owe me whatever you owe me plus $75.
Hey, I know you're loving the episode right now, but I need to ask you a really, really quick question. What's more important to you than money? Is it freedom, spending time with your family, traveling the world, building a better relationship with God, spending time with your kids? What is it? The reason why I'm asking that because most people think that money is everything when money is just a tool. Money is the tool to help you get the things that you really love. And luckily for you, I built the #1 most affordable wealth building community that teaches you how to get access to capital, how to utilize the money as a tool to get the things that you really want and deserve. And that community is the Mogul Elite Club community where you're going to learn how to pay off your debt, how to get access to capital, how to clean your credit, buy assets, and so much more for less than $1.50 per day. So what I want you to do is text the word ELITE to 347-429-6496. That's ELITE to 347-429-6496. And I'm going to see you in the #1 wealth building community. Let's get back to the episode.
Depending on how long that takes, the unit may not sell for the amount that you owe me. So I may take a loss. It just depends on the circumstance.
Auctioning the unit, not the actual content.
No, just the unit, whatever, like the whole unit. Yeah. So see, storage wars. So basically, people, and that's a full business where people, they go around. That's their business model. Yo, they bid on the unit, whatever's in there, they grab it. They got couches, they got beds, clean it up, flip it, and now they making thousands of dollars.
So how do you advertise the auctions that are coming up?
You hire an auction company. Yeah. Who? Huh? Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, happy. What's up?
Do you ever keep the stuff?
Legally, I can't. But Bill, nah. Nah. What's up? How you find the data on your competition. So it's gonna be a few ways. Now, the long way is to be like a secret shopper. So you could go to other facilities and just say, hey, I want to rent out this unit. What you have available? Is there a waiting list? How many units do you have? What's your pricing? Stuff like that. Or you can use platforms called like StoreTrack. So that's what I use, but that's a paid platform. And you can literally get what's the occupancy, each unit, what they're charging, the trends, is the moving, are people moving out? Is the population growing? You know, yeah, you could get all that information. Me personally, I don't have any facilities, climate control. If y'all learn anything about Mogul, I want to spend about the least amount of money and make the most. Now, it's also about, again, the market research, right? So you may buy a facility and then you're going to go and do all this to it, right? I'm going to climate control, I'm going to do I'm going to put marble floors, all this stuff. And the people come in like, bro, I just want to store my mattress there and I want to pay the cheapest price. So you go and do all that and it don't even matter, right? So you got to understand the market research, what the people are actually looking for, what experience is in that area, and then you can match from that standpoint. So how much I think that gate costs right there? $8,500. $8,500?
35.
Damn, they said $8,500.
35.
That's
About
enough.
35.
So I don't know. I don't think Dan could give the exact number, but that's easily $30,000 to $50,000.
35.
Me personally, right? And me and Boone go back and forth about this, you know, because I've been in residential, I did apartments, I did all of that, you know, and I like self-storage because it's more lower maintenance. There is still other costs, but that gate will last you years, decades once you get it right. But if you don't have the right vendor and it's not being maintained, it could cost you so much money as well. So I would agree. I think the pain point would be having the right vendors. Another pain point that I will also say, you gotta have the right management team because it's still a customer service driven business. Just because people are storing their stuff, people care about where they store their stuff. So when they call, you gotta have somebody answer the phone. Nobody wanna call a facility and it rings out. It's always the voicemail, you know what I'm saying? Or you come here, and this is an actually clean facility, but you go to some facilities, it's filthy. You got mold, you got rats, they didn't shovel if it was snowing. It may be muddy, things like that. Like now it's not a pleasant experience for you to go in and out and get your items, right? So I would say that is something to be very mindful of, is making sure that you have the right team that's gonna help you run it, because then it becomes a job for you. Just like any business, right? It'll become a job for you because you're the one dealing with everything. The whole point is put the systems, the people, the processes in place so that you get paid in your sleep and you don't gotta worry about it. You got the right people.
Well, I have a question. What about like indoor, outdoor facilities? There's some facilities that have indoor units and outdoor. Is it just depending on what market you're in? Like me in Texas, it's hot all the time. People don't have a problem to just drive up, but some people want indoor because they feel safer. They don't want to just be outside or they don't have a car or whatever. So is
So-
that all on need as well for market?
It's
or-
based upon market. Yep.
Yeah, but it's going to cost more for a facility if you have an indoor or if you have a heated, because you got lights, you got to turn the lights on and all of that inside.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You hit it on the head. You had one of these before? Teresa, like, I'm traumatized with that lot right there. So this right here is very important, right? So when you're buying a facility, everybody in the course, you should have a due diligence checklist. So it'll show you when you walk through the facility what things to look for. But one of the biggest things is an overlap, right? This is important because you buy you're looking to buy a facility, and this owner is saying, hey, we have these amount of tenants. We know physical versus economic occupancy, right? So physically, it's 90 units occupied, but economically, 60 of the units are paying. We know that part. But then we need to know how to verify it. So when you walk through a facility, whenever you see an overlock, that's a sign that person did not pay their behind. And that's the first step towards auction. So you put that overlock on, they can't get in their unit, and obviously, if they're not, the auction is pretty much coming up. So what we do, and like, it takes time when you are, that's why for me, I say, you don't need to buy 2, 3 facilities, 5 facilities a month. Right? You don't even just one per year, one good one per year, because it's gonna take you time. When you finding it, your due diligence process, you gotta walk through the facility. You wanna jot down each number. You wanna make sure the numbers match up. You said it was 200 and... we need to double check and make sure it's 254 units. So now I need to walk high, 252, 251, because they'll tell you that and then you won't see it, you know what I'm saying? And then from that amount, we also need to double check and make sure how many of them got overlocks on. So I have like a small facility of 40 something units, and the maintenance on that is 5%, you know what I mean? But 170 units, that's 15%, right? Total, I wanna be anywhere from 30 to 40% expenses. If I'm over 40%, that I'm doing, so I need to bring it down. I need to do something. I need to kind of filter some things out. So 30 to 40% from an expense ratio is where I want to be. And then you kind of break that down into like the management expenses, maintenance expenses, taxes, insurance, all the things that come with, operating a facility. A rule of thumb is 2 to 3 points above interest at the moment. So interest rates right now is like 8%, I believe, last time I checked. So if you buy a facility if you buy a facility where the cap rate is the same of the interest rate or less, you buying backwards. You're gonna be in the negative. You ain't even gonna be able to cover that debt on that loan. So at a minimum, you wanna be 2 to 3 points cap rate above whatever the interest rate in the market is. Or whatever interest rate you paying. Or interest rate you paying, really. Because it could be 8%, and that interest, just because that's the market, that don't mean that's what your lender giving you. Like SBA, they just gave me 11%. Just nuts. But the facilities are still profitable, and we know when interest go down, we're gonna be in the green. You know what I'm saying? So if you could buy in this market, so I want to make this clear. This is a tough market right now, period. For everybody. So this is I like self-storage again the most because it has the least amount of risk and exposure, but it's still risky, and it's because of lending and banks and borrowing. And what's happening is a lot of people that borrow in 2020, which was so cheap, feel me? 2-3% interest rate, we going and buying back the block, we paying crazy prices. But in the commercial real estate industry, typically the loans is 5 years. So it's amortized, meaning like you paying as if it's a 20, 30-year loan, but in 5 years you gotta refinance. So if you bought that property for this price and you thought you was good because you overpaid because your interest rate was so cheap in 2020, well, it's 2024 now. You gotta start putting yourself in position to refinance, right? And now interest rates are much higher when you refinance it. Now you refi and your mortgage goes up. Well, you bought it at this price 5 years ago and the money doesn't cover the new mortgage now. So what's happening is that's happening with a lot of people right now in real estate completely. And banks, if y'all notice, if y'all probably speaking to the lenders and the banks, they'll tell you that they start kind of staying away from real estate right now because of that in particular. But for a buyer, if you have cash and you understand, it's actually a good time for a buyer, right? Because now those properties they can't maintain as far as refinancing and redoing a new loan with a new interest rate, and now they got to get out of it and sell it, or they're going to foreclose, and then we come in here, we scoop it up for the low price. But I personally would rather independent. Now, there is pros with franchising to going corporate because it's already a proven system, proven model that help you vet out locations, finding them, but you can't get as creative. You got to follow a strict guideline, and then you got royalty fees. You got a lot that goes into it from a franchising standpoint, like fees. So now you look at your profit line like, damn, I'm really not making. I got to pick them another job, you know. And you don't want to pick up jobs. You want to buy businesses that pay us. From an independent standpoint, you have all the free will to do whatever you want and be creative. Now, it is a lot more work on you, right? You don't have like the resources and the structure and all that stuff to come in and implement. That's been proven, but with the right knowledge and the right systems that you learn, we could do this independently. Yeah, that's to protect the building because people be driving reckless like you know what I mean? Yeah, Spitty coming here, wild night. Yo, bang. So it's really to protect the building so people don't be backing into the building with their cars.
They gonna mess up your car before they mess up your building.
This is not for the curious, it's for the serious. Like if you really want to get into the self-storage business, it gotta be a lifestyle for you, right? So I would say starting out is seeing if you could spend a day, you know, at a local facility, you know, wherever you at. So you kind of see the operations and see how it works day to day. Once you do buy a facility, you want to designate, and we put this in all the contracts. When we buy facilities, we designate that the seller gives us 30 days of a coaching period. So what happens is, this has happened plenty of times, not to me, I learned the right way because I was already in mentorship, but a lot of people, they will drop off this facility, you sign a contract, it's yours now. And then now you just got this thing here, right? You don't know how to run it. You don't know all the process. You don't know what deals they done made with different people. You don't know what sales or promos they had. And now you're dealing with new problems. You're dealing with old problems. So you got to clean up old problems before you even can start brand new. Now you got a bad reputation or whatever with your new tenants or your new clients, and now you got to kind of win them over again, right? So you want to have it baked in where the seller has a 30-day coaching period with you where they actually help you transition. So setting up, transitioning the phone lines, that's a big deal. Because when people making phone calls, they want to get them phone calls answered for whatever questions, or even people that's calling in that may want to rent out units, right? And you don't have the phone line set up, or the phone lines going to the old seller. You want to make sure that you get merchant accounts set up, so for people to actually make their payments, because everything is automated. You don't do cashier, right? You cashier?
We do cash.
So they do cashier. Me personally, I don't mess with cash. So this is my strategy, right? And this is something that has been newly implemented. There we go. Who said that? You said that? Yo, you been on point. Even down to the ad, she was like, yo, bro, get the bag, flip the bag. All right. But yes, merchant accounts, right? We set that up because we want to do everything automated. We want to be as hands-off as possible. You can't be hands-off completely, but we want to now leverage technology to be able to now make sure that we can run these things remotely. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to, everything is cashless, right? Keypads, right? You buy your retail supplies on our website. So if you go on, and I'll send you out a link, but you go on one of the websites that I have from my facility, you pay for your unit online, you get your insurance online, you could actually pay for the U-Haul online, you can buy your materials online, all on a site on a funnel. So when you go to our Fund Your Freedom site and you see you get a website, or you go sign up for a class and you got an ebook right there, and then you can do it's a funnel. We just took the same strategy from a digital marketing standpoint and I implemented it on a self-storage standpoint. So now I don't need to have anybody that works directly on a facility to be handing out boxes and everything, or opening up the unit, kind of trading it in, getting you in and doing the full transaction. Everything happens online. Everything happens online. Every facility that I've purchased, I've never changed the name.
Okay.
I keep the name the same.
Okay.
Because again, I don't want to shake up the area. Oh, there's the new owners in town, and
Right.
it just get nasty. And I'm in it for the money. I'm not in it for the name. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we just do a change of ownership to give us the rights to that name, and we just keep the facility. But we do say it's new management.
New management.
So new management, but the owner, the name of the facility, all that stays the same. And necessarily they don't have to say it's new is a new owner, but they send out emails, right? So the management company go and send out emails and say, hey, new management, here's the way you can contact us. This is what to expect. da-da-da-da, send it out. Do people check their emails? No, but we send them out. You know what I mean? People still call me like, yo, you said, But did you check your email?
Sent that to you 30 days ago.
Exactly. You know, but hey, that's just the way
my
things go.
second question.
So it's the same thing. If you buy in a business that's already existing, it's like buying a shelf court, but you're buying that business and then you get everything that comes with it. And now if they got that history, they got income, man, you can go get funding off that same business that you just bought. So you bought a business, you got the cash flow, everything that come with it, plus the history, I'm gonna go get funding on this business. It's a double win. Have I done that? No, I can't tell you I've done it, but it is something that you can do.